We're gonna watch this video here telling my family I'm pregnant from a year ago by Colleen Ballinger, because I don't know who this is at all. So I think this is going to be another one of those series of me being introduced to different YouTube creators and seeing their content for the first time and that type of thing. So, and this has been fun so far. It's how I've discovered Jenna Marbles, right? It's how I also discovered Eugenia Cooney. So who am I to complain? Definitely not anybody special. That's for sure. Look, I'm not going to watch a video about motherhood, alright? I'm not going to watch the ad. Because there's no way in hell I'm going to be a mother. Moving on.
I'm Colleen Ballinger, and I'm pregnant! I'm so excited I can finally talk about this stuff, you guys. I've been dying, just waiting to tell you. I'm so excited. So this video is going to be all the footage of me.
I'm happy she's excited about telling us about this. I'm more excited about just the instruments in the background, I'm not going to lie. So, like, is that an acoustic bass? It looks like it's 4 strings, right? Anyways.
Telling my family that I am pregnant. If you want to watch the pregnancy announcement, all the info about my pregnancy is in this video. I just posted it, so make sure to check that out. If you want even more details about my pregnancy, you can check out my vlog channel, because I'll put a lot more information on there. But if you just want to see my family reacting to the news that I'm pregnant, this is the place to be. Me telling my family that I was pregnant.
Okay. So this is where we get to see our family's reaction. Now, there's lots of ways this can go, right? Especially if it's a first pregnancy, because first pregnancies are bigger news. We'll see.
It felt hectic and unplanned and kind of a mess. So I felt like if I showed you guys the clips out of context, they wouldn't make any sense. So that's why I'm talking to you right now. I'm going to kind of explain what happened before.
This pillow is creepy as shit.
Or you watch me tell them. So the first person that I told that I was pregnant was my husband, and I told him like.
Well, I would hope so.
After I found out. So I found out I was pregnant, I freaked out, I couldn't believe it, I was so excited, and I wanted to think of a cute way to tell him. What I did was I got my cute 2-year-old son Flynn, and I said we're gonna color something.
Okay, so it's not a first pregnancy. So it's not a first pregnancy. So it's not as big of news, but it's still big news. Like being pregnant, having a kid, always big news. It's just more big news when it's the first time.
Picture of a family of trucks, because Flynn loves trucks, and I had Flynn colored in. And the mommy truck was a cement truck, and inside the cement truck was a little baby truck. Flynn went to bed, and then I told Eric, hey, Flynn and I have a present for you. Can I give it to you, and can I film it? Yeah, here's the footage. He was very excited. I'm surprised he didn't tell you about it, because he was very excited about it.
When did you make it?
I didn't make it, he made it.
He made it?
Yeah, he made that. Isn't that cute?
So I'm a crane truck, and you're a cement truck, and he's a skid steer. That makes sense.
What's special about the cement truck, love?
He kind of missed a big detail, didn't he?
Are you serious?
I just found out.
What the hell happened to their light? Anyway, the light changing is creepy, but just the genuine, like, oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Like, how do I not see that coming? I always see you do this to other people, and I'm like, this is so dumb. How do they not see it's coming?
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm in a position to think right now with where my brain's at. I have thoughts. I have human thoughts that I can rationalize.
That would, like, obviously, if you're in his position, you're just dumbfounded, right? Like, you're caught off guard. You didn't expect it, and you're caught off guard. Like, I don't know how people miss the detail, like, the truck inside the truck, right? Like, I don't know how people miss that when they get things like this. Other than just, like, disbelief, maybe. Like, I understand when it's someone that's a prankster, but I don't know that she's a prankster or not, right? But that's, you know, I've also never been in that position.
So after that, we kind of just talked all night and freaked out together, and we're so excited. It was really special because we both wanted this so bad. The next person I told
That's always good.
Corey. Corey's my best friend, my family, my soul sister, my soulmate. I was very excited to tell Corey. Corey is very protective of me, and I am of him too. He saw firsthand, along with Eric and my family, how hard the miscarriage was for me. So I think he was...
See, that makes a second pregnancy really big news again. Like, having a miscarriage puts pregnancy up on a higher excitement level again. But at the same time, if you're protective of the person, like she's saying Corey is, you're going to have... you're also going to have concerns about, like, shit, what if that happens again? Because it's devastating to go through, right?
Really scared when I told him. I feel like his reaction was so sweet and excited and genuine, but I could sense his, like,
the sneeze demons
of me going through that again. I feel like I was sensing, like, oh no, like, we can't let anything happen to this little baby. So yeah, it was really sweet though. So basically I was just so excited to tell Corey that I didn't even come up with a good idea. Corey and I are always making fun of my cats, and my cat Stacy is always really dirty and gross no matter how often we clean her. Like, I brush her almost every day. We get her groomed every 3 weeks. It's like a Band-Aid stuck.
The difference between those two pictures, like the one picture of this cat when she's like clearly been cleaned recently, and then the next picture, like, fuck you, I'm a static mess, I'm a hot mess, I do what I want, I'm a cat.
To her, or silly stuck to her, or like poop stuck to her. She's just always covered in something gross, and so we're always sending pictures to each other of the gross cats. I don't know why I did this, but I decided to tell him by saying that there was something gross on the cat, and it was the pregnancy stick. It's really stupid.
That is stupid, but I mean, it also works because it's an inside thing, right? She let us in on their inside joke that they have with each other about it, and by letting us in on their inside joke about the situation with their cats, it makes that make sense as a funny thing to do. Otherwise, it'd just be creepy and weird.
So, here you go. Okay, so I'm going to show Corey what I found on Daisy's first. I need you to look what happened to it.
Oh, I'm scared.
Okay, I swear to God.
What? You're tough. Already? You for real?
I know, again!
We go again.
I know, is that crazy?
So, like, you see that, like, now he's starting to be like, ah, fuck, concern, right? That's what it looks like, is he was, like, happy and excited for her, and then, like, oh, shit, but what if concern starts coming through his mind? You see the moment it happens, basically. That was interesting to watch because we know that that's kind of what happens. It is also just really nice to see that she has so many supportive and loving, caring people around her so far, right? Her husband was really caring and loving about it and excited for it. Her best friend, same thing, right? So why would it be any different going through the whole video? I'm sure that those are just the kind of people she has in her life.
Take care of yourself.
I'm trying!
You're not allowed to move.
I know.
Everything in bed.
I know, isn't that crazy?
I'm excited.
So excited.
Wait, does everyone know?
Ow.
Is that why your parents are here?
Nobody knows it. Only Eric knows.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
The next people we told were our parents. So Eric's parents...
Makes sense. So the thing is, why would you tell your best friend before your parents? First of all, as an adult, you probably just see your best friend or talk to your best friend more often than your parents. So, that would be why.
we told over FaceTime, and I didn't film it because it was just like a special moment with us, and Eric's side of the family obviously is not as used to this world of me sharing my life with the internet, so that was just a special
That's a very
moment.
fair thing.
How we told them was we told them that Flynn had a gift for them, and he opened the gift, and it was a truck with a positive pregnancy test on the back of the truck. And so I'll show you guys right here. It was super cute. They're so excited, and we miss them so much. They're such incredible parents and grandparents, and we just can't wait to see them again, hopefully soon. Yeah, we love them, and it was a really wonderful moment. So then we told my parents and my brother Trent. I wanted to make sure Trent was the first sibling that I told this time because he was the last sibling I told last time. So I made a little storybook for Flynn, and in the storybook it reveals that I'm pregnant, and I had my parents read it to Flynn, and Trent was in the room too, and that's how I told my parents and Trent that I was pregnant. But it took me a minute to get to that point. I was very stressed and very tired. I couldn't figure out a good way to tell them, so there's a little bit of footage of me freaking out before telling them. Here you go. Okay, it's time to tell my parents. My parents are here. So I don't know. I could draw something on this tie-dye shirt that says like Big Brother. I don't know. I don't know what to do, guys. It's weird. It's like I can't think of any exciting ways to tell my family that I'm pregnant. I feel like I'm out of ideas. I'm so tired. You guys, I'm like kind of nervous. I'm not gonna lie because symptoms are hitting me so.
Why does she have so much creepy shit? Like, these dolls that look somewhat like her, all this stuff that looks like her, like, it's creepy.
Hard. I am so tired. Like, I've been yawning non-stop all day. Like, I'm so tired. Like, my body is desperately trying to take care of this little tiny speckle of a seed in my uterus right now. Okay. It looks horrible. I'm so tired. I have no energy to do something like cute and like well done.
That doesn't actually look horrible at all. Like that right there, this looks like something if you were to go to a store and try to find a tie-dye shirt for your toddler that's a big brother. That's the kind of like shirt you would expect to see, to be honest. Like it's obviously done with marker, right? But like aside from that, that's pretty much how you'd expect to see it. Like the only thing she could have maybe done to make it look better is to go over it with like an acrylic paint on a paintbrush maybe, but like this is the right kind of font and everything. Like the way that this is not, they're not all on like the same plane, they're kind of spaced up and down like a kid wrote it. That's the type of stuff you expect to see on a toddler shirt.
It looks horrible. I'm tired. I have no energy to do something like cute and like well done. I don't know what to do. Oh, my parents are here. My dad's leaving soon. So I want to do something good. I don't know if this shirt is it. I can get an idea. Alright, so I'm going to give.
Oh, new idea.
And I'm gonna have my dad read it to Flynn, and that's how he's gonna find out.
Oh, there you go.
Special book. A story for Flynn. Once upon a time, there was a boy named.
That's a cute way to do it. Come up with a story for about your kid that's a story about him so that your parents can read it. And then as your parents read it, that's not only how, well, I guess it is because Flynn already knows, but it's, you know, you could also have it be how your kid finds out. It'd be exciting for everybody. There's lots of ways to do these things, really, is my point.
Flynn, and he loves trucks. You love trucks?
This is a great idea. He's got truck on his shirt right now.
He also loved turtles and squirrels and ducks. He loves to dance and sing and eating ice cream. You like ice cream? Yeah. Oh, you got it on your nose! And he excited for his family to grow. Mom, it's
When you said the french fries were stinky, I saw her face, and I was like, oh, just because they're, I don't know.
the last thing I was expecting.
That's such a cute idea.
Pregnant, Trent. Thank you.
He's just like, yeah, good job.
He doesn't know what that means. I haven't told him yet. The next people we told were my brother and sister-in-law, Christopher
Okay.
and Jessica, and this.
Okay, so Flynn doesn't really know. He knows, but he doesn't understand, right? Which that's the difficulty with toddlers is they can know things but not understand them at the same time, and it's a strange little balance of things sometimes.
This was so tricky. I was so excited to tell them because Jessica, my sister-in-law, is pregnant, and it has always been like a dream of mine that we would be pregnant together. And so I was so excited when I found out I was pregnant.
This is something I don't understand about women. Oh my God, it'd be great if we were pregnant together. Like, why? What makes you think that? But maybe that's just from the outside looking in, as somebody who's watched people go through pregnancies that I wouldn't say were great pregnancies to have to go through. And then on top of that, most of the time tend to be temperamental because of it. Like not just being pregnant, but the whole situation, as well as the fact that being pregnant, you just don't have the patience to deal with shit because you don't have sleep because you're pregnant. So You're extra hungry, so you get hangry. You're sleep deprived, so you're angry, on top of being hangry. And then your body is actually diverting brain energy to growing a baby. So your brain function actually decreases as well. So all of these things add up to being more angry more easily, more often. And so I just don't understand why women think it's a great idea. Like, we should be pregnant together. Like, yeah, it sounds great. Well, just be hangry together. Fuck. It just, outside looking in, doesn't sound great.
Because we could be pregnant at the same time, and she has been there for me. She is my right-hand woman through my pregnancy with Flynn, through my miscarriage, and now through this pregnancy too. She is like
Good
my
Lord.
bestie, my
All I did was scratch my
mentor.
face.
I love
Oh.
her so much. She has 6 kids now. She's pregnant with her 6th.
Split ends in the beard, and when I scratch it, just fall right out. It's fucking weird.
So she has a lot of experience, and I really look up to her and love her a lot. So I was so excited to tell her, but I didn't want to tell their kids yet. They have 5, almost 6 kids.
Holy shit.
I didn't want them to...
So, like, my grandma's sister had a family like that. They had 6 kids. That was a long time ago. Okay, that was a very, very long time ago. It was like 60s, late 50s maybe when they started. So, like, it's a long time ago, man. I couldn't imagine having 6 kids today. What a hectic life.
Here, but they were always around. There's always a kid near us. So it was so hard to find a moment where it was just Christopher and Jessica and me. And so I had been at their house for like a few hours trying to figure out a time where I could set the camera down and tell them without any kids hearing. And I thought I finally figured out a time. And I was still trying to be discreet because I didn't want anyone to hear. But my plan was to be like, oh, look at all the cousins together, and then like point to our tummies because we have cousins in our tummies right now. It just was kind of a hot mess.
It sounds like it's going to be a disaster.
Little cousins sitting next to each other. Little cousins sitting next to each other. Little cousins
She's...
next to each other.
What? No. Are you for real? Is this a real thing that's happening?
Oh my goodness.
See, and once again, everybody has been excited and caring and loving and happy for it. It's really great to see, to be quite honest.
Oh my gosh, I've been so stressed for like 2 hours.
I feel like Christopher must have sensed it because he gave you that like carbonated Topo Chico like lime. That was like the perfect pregnancy.
Take a drink.
She's on it still.
Oh, my feet were ruining a shot.
And they have so many kids. I didn't want the kids to hear, and all the kids, and I was like, who can hear me? This one can't talk yet, so I knew he was safe. I'm so excited. The next people I told were my cousins, Stephanie and her husband,
Go away.
John, and my cousin Andrew. Andrew and Stephanie are like siblings to me. I've always been very close to them, and it's been another one of my dreams since I was a little girl, the idea of being pregnant at the same time as Stephanie, and we are right now, so I was really excited to...
Holy shit, she's got a pregnant troop. A whole pregnant troop of women. That's... I mean, it might be a good thing, in all honesty, if it's such a positive, loving environment of people. It might be a good thing. That's just not the experience that I'm used to having with people that are pregnant that I've been around. So, I could be entirely wrong. I'm just saying from the outside looking in, my experience, I don't know why it's what you would want, but at the same time, they're all excited and happy about it. So, not passing any judgment, just saying, I don't understand why it's what you would want.
To tell them, and we were at my parents' house having a bonfire, and I didn't have a cool way to tell them. I just told them, but you can't really see anything because it's dark, but I still love this footage, and it's still very special to me because Stephanie and I are pregnant at the same time. We are out by the bonfire. It's very windy, and I am so excited because I'm about to tell Andrew and Stephanie that I'm pregnant!
What?
Yay! Yay!
Oh my god.
Congrats.
I was waiting for your announcement. Honestly, I was just like, she's gonna tell me. One of these days she's gonna call me or be in town and she's gonna tell me.
You can't even see your reactions because 1, you're in pitch black, and 2, you're wearing masks. So in this footage, it's gonna look like fake it. Yay! Fake it, Andrew. Take off the mask. Fake it.
He does the same thing she
Like, I'm
did.
pregnant and turn out it's black. And you guys are all, yay! We get to your face. It's like the worst video ever, but I don't care. I'm so excited. We're both pregnant.
It's like those reactions were the worst ones, partially because it's dark, partially because they're wearing masks. Because if they're wearing masks, they were also wanting to stay distanced. Probably because of just the concerns with COVID at the time and her being pregnant as well, right? So they're taking precautions, doing their thing, it's whatever. But everybody else was very willing to just like, embrace and share in that moment, right? So it was just more obviously telling with everybody else so far.
Same time, I can't believe it. This is like when my dreams come true, Stephanie. I can't believe it. Like, I've like dreamt of us being pregnant at the same time. It's so
excited. More cousins.
I know. Next, you're gonna see me tell all of Christopher and Jessica's kids. This was chaos. When I told them I was
This was chaos.
I did like a math thing with them. I was like, how many kids are in this room? And then I was like, actually, there's an extra kid because there's one in me. And that's how I told them I was pregnant with Flo, and they were very excited. So I kind of wanted to do a similar thing this time. We were on a little camping trip at a ranch, and I just got them together to ask them their favorite moment of the trip. And within that, I thought I would be like, oh, how many cousins are all here, and count the cousins. And it just kind of ended up being a mess because then Bailey started counting the animals and the cousins, and Parker was counting wrong, and then Flynn ran up and started yelling that I was pregnant, but no one understood him, and it was just chaos, and I wouldn't have it.
Flynn was like, fuck that, here's the answer. Oh, please.
We're having 2 days to be here.
Yeah. What was your favorite part? Seeing the animals. What about you, Jake?
I like fishing and I liked all of it actually.
What about you, Parker?
People have been missing this
What?
family.
Yes. What about you, Bailey?
That's pretty insightful for a little kid.
Everything?
Yeah.
I think my favorite part has been seeing all the cousins together. All 7 of the cousins.
Wait, there's 7 of us?
Well, your mom's pregnant, so that's how many
1,
is that?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, I'm sorry, 8.
8. Yes, 8 of the cousins.
And if
you count the pets.
No, not counting pets, only humans. There's 8 cousins.
2, 4, 6.
Yeah, there is.
7.
1, 2.
Plus all the stuff.
What did you say? Say it again, Flynn. Tell them. Say it. See what mommy has.
Now he just wants a hat.
That is why I said 8 cousins.
Oh my god!
It's funny because she did this before, and it's the second time she's doing this to these kids, and they didn't pick up on it. And somehow they all missed Flynn going, Mommy has a baby in there. Which is adorable and also hilarious all at once.
Flynn knew. That's why he came over and he said, Mama got a baby in there. We're missing the Jessica cousin. She's got one of the cousins. There's not a cousin. Yay. How are you feeling? Sick. The next family members that we told were Eric's brothers, Chris and Brooke. Now, unfortunately, because we are in the day and age of FaceTime and Zoom and the internet, and we all live in different parts of the country, we couldn't tell them in person, which totally sucked. We had to rely on FaceTime.
It happens.
It's actually been such a bummer this year.
Now, see, people take this for granted, right? She's like, oh, it's a bummer we couldn't tell him in person. It had to be over FaceTime or whatever it was, a video call of some form or whatever, right? The thing is, what a blessing that you have that in this day and age, because you could have had to have written a letter home. That letter could have had to have been taken on horseback from the west to the east coast to get on a ship in New York City to go back across the ocean to your family in Europe to tell them you have a kid. And by the time they got that letter, you've probably given birth already, assuming that you made it that far in that period of time, as just pregnancy was more risky with less medical knowledge. So, I mean, like, it sucks you can't do it in person, but I mean, at the same time, it's instantaneous still. So, it's not ideal, but most things in life aren't.
Pregnancy technical because a lot of the times I tell people I thought it was recording and then it doesn't just because technology sucks. When we FaceTimed with Eric's brother Brooke, the FaceTime recording failed. So you'll see that footage, but you won't see Brooke. You'll just hear Brooke. And actually, Eric's brother Chris, he edits the videos for the podcast, and so we called him while we were podcasting, and we were pretending like we were having an issue, and we needed him to look at the computer and help us out. And really, we were just going to tell him that we were pregnant by showing him the screen, and it said, "I'm pregnant."
So doing a screen share, that works.
It's popping up on our computer. It's not. It's I don't know. It keeps interfering with us trying to record. It's been like bothering us for like a couple weeks actually.
Let me try to flip this around. Actually, hold on. Can you see that?
Oh my! You better be kidding me!
I'm pregnant. Thank you.
So everybody's been happy and excited. Everybody. The kids and everybody.
Yeah, that's a little bit obvious that I'm pregnant.
There he is. How are you, dude?
Because we can't see him because it didn't record, right? So we get a photo.
Yeah. Colleen's pregnant again.
That was the best response ever. It was like happy and congratulatory, but at the same time slightly insulting, right? Like, you're gonna have a second kid. Don't know if that's the best kind of idea, kind of a vibe to the way he said it, but it was still great.
Thank you. I feel very sick.
And the final family member we told was Rachel. As you guys know, Rachel and I have always been very, very close, but Rachel is a busy woman these days. You know, she is living her best life, and I couldn't
God
figure out a way
damn
to
it.
tell her to
These
come over
fucking
without being
hangnails.
suspicious. So I was like, how am I going to get her to come over? And I wanted her girlfriend
I need
to
to
be
actually
here,
just
but then
take
I
care of it.
can't film her girlfriend, obviously. Like, how do I do this? What am I going to do? And so I just kind of had to wait for it to happen naturally. So Rachel came over on Mother's Day, and I was like, okay, perfect. I'm just going to tell her on Mother's Day. But her girlfriend couldn't come over that day, so I was like, I can't tell her and not her girlfriend. But I ended up just being like, okay, Rachel can just tell her girlfriend when she gets home. So I was very bummed. Also, Rachel is wearing a mask because Rachel was getting over a cold, so she didn't want to get anyone sick in case she still could pass on this cold. So she's wearing.
And like, was it the cold?
Yeah, I was very excited.
Was it the Rona? Nobody knew. There's that point in time where nobody knew, where we just all assumed, oh, you're coughing and you've got this ick shit going around. It maybe what you got going on is the Ronas, right? So that it makes sense. It was what everybody had going through their heads at the time.
And so here's the footage.
I don't know if she understood any of that. The subtitles, baby and mama tummy. Oh, that's fantastic.
Baby and mommy. Yeah. Everyone knows. I saw a minivan and I was like, man, but I know not to ask. Hurry up. I love you. Can I hug you?
Concerned about making people sick, but couldn't resist the urge to hug. It was just like, can I hug you? Yes, bam. Oh, done. As soon as you started the word yes, it was over.
I know that's pretty short, but it's
That's how much people care
Rachel in a very long time.
and love her,
Excited to chat with her.
which is fantastic to see.
It was a lot of fun telling all the family. The family's all very excited. I'll put Flynn's reaction in another video. It's just too
God,
cute. I can't even
get
stand
off
it.
my
It's
shirt.
the cutest, most perfect little angel. But I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for being so supportive and sweet. I am ill. But I'm so grateful that I am sick. Every time I barf, or every time I do barf, every time I can't keep my eyes open, or I just feel super nauseous all day. I obviously don't enjoy being sick, but I feel so grateful that I am sick because it means that everything's okay in there, and that all the baby things are growing like they're supposed to, and I'm really excited. I'm really grateful, and I'm really excited
Yeah, I'm sure having
with you guys.
I'm sure having a growing thing inside of you that literally forces all your organs out of their position so it has space to grow and live makes you sick. Like, I'm sure that in itself is a big portion of what makes you sick.
I really think that's one of the biggest things that got me through my last pregnancy, and it's what helped me to get through the miscarriage I had earlier this year, and I feel like going on this journey with you guys is going to make it so much more wonderful. So a lot more exciting stuff is coming very soon, and yeah, love you guys. See you soon. Okay, right. Colleen Ballinger!
Well, that was very wholesome and fun to watch. I'm happy we had that video to watch today. That's for sure. It's not one that's irritating before I play a game.